Welcome to SHOT Show TV. I'm David Lomardo. We're with Alexis Lagan, who is on the national team. She shoots pistol. You have already won. You have a gold in the women's sport pistol.
Yes, sir.
And then you have a silver in the women's air pistol. So those are the medals you've gotten already.
Yep. I just won this last year at the national championships out in Fort Benning, Georgia.
Super. That's my old alma mater, Fort Benning.
Oh, okay.
So how long have you been shooting?
Only about 5 years. I got started when I was in college. I needed a way of making friends, and this was a great way to make some amazing friends.
So you started with pistol? Is that what you've done all along?
Yes, sir. I got started right off the bat with pistol, and I've never looked back.
If you've only been doing this for 5 years and you've already gotten a gold and a silver, there must be a certain amount of raw talent in this then.
Well, I have been shooting since I was little. My dad is a LVMPD. He works in the corrections department, and from a very young age, there's been guns in the home, but I was taught from an early age that guns are tools and that I need to be very respectful of them and use them properly, and I'm so very grateful for all of those lessons because now that's allowing me to not only pursue my career, but also my Olympic dream.
And right now, where are you in that?
Well, I'm about to start off on a new quad. So we labeled the 4 years leading up to the Olympics as a quad. We just got done with year one. Year two is going to be very exciting. We have world championships later this year in South Korea. Tryouts for that are starting up. So keep your fingers crossed for me because I really want to go.
So tell me, what is a week like there?
Well, I wake up every morning. I get onto that range. I start training. I train for about 3 to 4 hours. I go to lunch, then I go to my workouts and work out for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I start doing my mental training, which includes reading, meditation, a lot of mindfulness. I work with a sports psych. I work with a nutritionist and just kind of go through my general day. Now I work a part-time job as well in the afternoons, and then I go home and get my rest. That way I can do the whole thing over again.
And you actually live there then?
Yes, I live just off campus with Caitlin Connor, one of our shotgun shooters.
Sure, yeah. So what is your practice regimen like? How much do you shoot in a week?
You know, it very much depends on what I'm doing that week. If I have a competition coming up, I tend to not shoot as much. If I'm a little bit getting ready for the competition weeks before, I'll shoot quite a bit. A lot of it, though, ends up coming down to dry firing. Dry firing is the main key for us, so lots and lots of dry fire.
You just said something that struck me odd. If you're coming up on a competition, you don't practice as much.
I practice, just not as much live fire shooting because you don't really want to tuck your arm out. If you start, it's kind of like if you talk a whole lot in the beginning, you don't have enough wind for later on.
That's fair, and that's what people do. That's a normal.
Yeah, so we kind of do like a curve for all of our training. Early on, not as much, so that way you don't get burnt out. And then as you get, a couple weeks before, you'll start training really, really hard, and then you'll teeter out. You'll have a nice mellow period right before your competition, so that way you're primed up.
Are you like dry firing during that time?
Yes,
so
I do a lot of dry
but
firing.
You're not live firing.
Oh yeah, no, I still maintain all of my practice, just not as much live firing.
And I'm also interested, and I've asked other Olympians this very question. That's a psychomotor skill. So that's, as long as you do it correctly and you keep doing it, you get better. Now, not everybody gets great, but you get better. The psychological part is a totally different thing. How do you actually train to be able, when you do a bad shot, the average person, it starts going downhill right away. How do you actually train to say, no, next shot's all over again, and you forget about it? What do you do for that?
It's a lot of positive reinforcement for myself. It's different for each shooter, but for me, I make sure that I use very positive language. There's never really bad shots. It's just poorly executed. And what did I do wrong, and what can I fix for the next time? Not a lot of negative, a lot of positive. And then beyond that, before I even get to the range, I make sure that I do a lot of visualization. So the weeks leading up to a competition, I'll go to bed and I'll imagine myself walking into the range, setting up my gear, taking every shot, having a really good match, winning and even stepping up onto that podium, accepting my award, and then I finish my visualization. All the way through, step by step, what I'm eating, who I'm going to talk to, how I'm going to feel, what the weather's going to be like. I do all of those visualizations, and that helps eliminate a lot of those poorly executed shots.
I doubt if almost anybody even understands what goes into that, how much you have to do. That's just amazing. So there's a bit of a funding crunch now for Pistol, is there not?
There is.
What can we do about that?
You know, there's a lot of opportunities for people to be able to donate. The best way for them to find out about those opportunities is to go onto usashooting.org. There'll be plenty of information on how they can donate, how they can become sponsors with us. Lots and lots of opportunities there, and I would really appreciate it. Pistol definitely needs it.
Say the address one more time.
usashooting.org.
usashooting.org. Even $5, contribute to the cause.